I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Walt Kowalski just wants to die peacefully, but gets sucked into the dramatic circumstances of his immediate neighbors. Kowalski has to overcome his own racial prejudices, cultural gaps, religious doubts, and general apathy to earn the right to peace.
Oh, I am at peace.
There are a few swear words and racial slurs ahead, so be forewarned. Watch the movie first to see the scene in context. Gran Torino is a really good film and especially relevant today. The scene we're about to analyze starts when 3 boys accost Sue and Trey, and Kowalski arrives to save the day. The scene is critical to whatever happens thereafter, because Eastwood has to convince us what Kowalski is really capable of. It is slightly over 4.5 minutes long, with an average shot length of about 5 seconds. This is on the higher side, but it packs no less of a punch. What's the major goal of the scene? The primary aim of the scene is to show Kowalski means business. He's not afraid to die. Everyone he antagonizes is asking him to
take care now. You better watch your back. It's crazy.
The other aim of the scene is to create a bond between Kowalski and Sue. Why should he care for her anyway? She has to earn his respect. She must be worth the trouble. He wouldn't have bothered for Trey, that's the point. For me, the movie is about giving everybody his or her space. Kowalski takes it to extremes, but under the hood, it's about getting along with people you don't share a lot with. Could a mean-hearted soul like him be redeemed? Then there's hope for the rest of us. It's an optimistic worldview. You either like it or you don't. The scene epitomizes everything that divides humans: sex, race, culture, attitude, it's all there. It tries to show how misunderstandings and even deliberate antagonizing can be dealt with. Others have to step up and risk something. You can't solve problems without having skin in the game. Okay, enough about that. Let's understand how Eastwood achieved these goals with camera angles, blocking, and cinematography. The location is just a random, unassuming street, public property. It's in keeping with the economic situation, and the muted tones of the architecture substantiate that. Notice how it's not a blind alley or some dark and shady neighborhood. This contributes immensely to the optimism of the scene. It starts with a jib shot that establishes the setting and comes down, so we are now focused on Trey and Sue. Once the 3 boys notice them, watch how the camera encircles them, mirroring what they're doing. This movement makes it more threatening and urgent. The constant movement by the Steadicam operator mimics the way the 3 boys are flopping around. It just dramatically increases your blood pressure. Kowalski arrives, and Eastwood guides our perception of him. He's not visibly perturbed. The shot is rock solid. It's only at this point Sue starts talking. This wouldn't happen in real life, but here it makes sense. Kowalski is only interested in Sue. Now she has to live up to his expectations. The way she responds really defines the movie. She could have reacted in many ways, but she holds her ground. That's the kind of language he understands. When it becomes obvious her valiant efforts are not going to save her, he steps in. He does exactly what she did. He plays with them, gives everyone a chance to walk away with dignity.
The hell these spooks up to?
You better get your ass on, Hunky, while I still let you.
I don't think Eastwood is condoning their actions, but the way the boys are directed and the lines they say lend me to believe Eastwood would rather assume they are fundamentally good humans capable of change. Except these idiots don't know that yet. When Trey praises Kowalski, he says,
Go, man. Shut up, pussy.
By the way, Trey is played by Scott Eastwood, his real son. In a way, he's telling him, and us, we don't have to become someone else to get along. The 3 tough boys are just kids. Eastwood not just saved the girl, but saved them too. That's the persona he brings to the screen. We pay to watch him for it. Ready for round 2? And let's go through the scene again. The scene is shot on a C-series Panavision anamorphic lens, probably a 40 or 50mm. Eastwood moves around with a video monitor fed wirelessly and cues the actors if necessary. On this movie, he was particularly free with the actors. The anamorphic aspect ratio gives him the room to use mid-shots and close-ups and still get a sense of the surroundings. They all share the same space. He doesn't use shallow depth of field, and you can see well into the background. They were shooting at 500 ASA so he could stop down to f8 if he wanted to. As Trey and Sue turn the corner, you hear a car zooming past. All this happens in plain sight. The camera drops to about eye level for their two-shot, while the three guys are shot from a low angle. Whenever they encircle the two, we're at a higher angle, further heightening the effect of entrapment. Throughout the action, the framing is open. The operator is reacting to the action. The first real threat is also delivered by the first close-up. You can't miss it. The second encirclement goes the other way with the same choreography. Sue is blocked right in the middle of it. When Kowalski watches, the camera starts to move in slightly. Note this is the second close-up of the scene, the next important beat. Sue is shot from a higher angle. There's no mistaking the balance of power here. All the action is in over-the-shoulder shots. It's confrontational by its very nature. You can see how the camera bobs and weaves around, maintaining the tension. You could argue it has gotten more random. The jump cuts add to the tension. Finally, when Kowalski drives up to them, we get long shots again. It places him in relation to the action, gives us a breather before the next push. Another car passes by. Subconsciously, we realize everyone can walk away from this. It's happening in plain view. When we cut to the first over-the-shoulder to him, we are facing down on him. He's starting from a place of weakness. Now watch as Eastwood masterfully raises that weakness with one simple step up. Literally. Now he's at the same height. The operator moves in closer while tilting up, evening out the angle at the same time. Subtle, but enough. The guys are bunched up together and Kowalski is isolated. Then he spits, and the balance of power shifts with another angle change. The first over-the-shoulder is from a low angle, but it places him on par with the group. After the spit, he's now larger than life, dwarfing them. When he pulls out his finger, we move in tighter, and in the reverse, he is shot from a low angle. He's in control now. The exact same thing is repeated again with the real gun in hand. The music underlines the seriousness of this moment. The scene is underscored with a drum beat that emphasizes Kowalski's military past. When he's done with them, he's finally in the middle, centered between the group. The last shot of the scene is from a bird's eye view. To be honest, I'm not sure why this angle was chosen. Maybe Eastwood didn't want to show us what was down the road. Throughout the scene, skies are overcast, but the scene is backlit at the beginning. This continuity is roughly maintained throughout. They just chose the right time of day to nail it, and probably used reflectors and some diffusion. Even in Eastwood's close-up in the car, the lighting direction is maintained. Eastwood repeats the scene many times and shoots from multiple angles, so he has some freedom in the editing room. I hope this analysis has helped you understand Clint Eastwood's style of blocking and camera movement. He focuses more on the action and keeps things simple. He's an actor's director. And before I forget, you know it's an important scene when there's a trademark Eastwood riposte.
Ever notice how you come across somebody once in a while that you shouldn't have fucked with?
You'll find an exclusive downloadable summary of my notes on Patreon. The link is in the description. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you have a favorite scene you want me to analyze, let me know. To see more videos like this one, please subscribe.